What's up, guys, and welcome to this week's video. If you don't know me, my name is Jonathan. Like I say, I make all sorts of videos. Mainly started the channel on my 2014 Silverado, but I've kind of branched out into different things now, doing things on my four-wheeler and therefore garage. So if you're into that kind of thing, don't be afraid to subscribe, like the video, and share the ride with me. However, this video is not going to be on the truck, but I assure you there is going to be more truck content in the future. It's not the greatest outside. We're back to winter mode. However, I do have some plans for the truck, so we are going to have some content on that in the future. But like I said in the previous video, I was ordering some LED lights and some pods for the four-wheeler just for some better visibility at night. So that's what we're doing in this video. I'm going to be wiring up the pods and installing the LED headlights into the four-wheeler. So what I'm going to be doing basically is just converting the stock headlights to an LED bulb, and I'm going to be putting some pods on the front. So what I have here are some LED flood pods from Lightfox, as you can see there. If you're looking for them, just look them up on Amazon. I got them off of Amazon, so Lightfox on Amazon, that's where they are. Yeah, so basically they are just a flood style pod, because I don't need to see far distances. I just need to see basically the yard that I'm plowing and stuff like that, and if I end up doing any nighttime driving in the trails, I will be able to see a little bit better. So the reason I did get these was because when I put the plow up, it kind of blocks the headlights. So I'm just going to stick these just up a little bit higher, kind of like right here, just so they kind of still look good, and they provide some more visibility while the plow is up. So I'm going to go ahead and mounting them, and then I'm going to start all the wiring of everything onto the bike. Also forgot to show you guys too. So I don't know if you can see that. That's the headlight bulb there. It's just a filament bulb with a high beam and a low beam setting. So this is right here, the LED replacement for it. Basically just goes in place of that bulb. Now I did already install the other side last night just to see if it actually would work, because I ordered this. It was a different light code. I wasn't sure if it was going to work. It does work. It works really well. However, only works on a low beam setting. So as soon as you turn on a high beam setting, it starts to smoke. Doesn't really like it, so I'm just going to keep it on a low beam setting. It's just as bright as the high beam on a low beam anyway, because it's already an LED light. So I'm going to go ahead and start, like I said, mounting this, and we're going to go from there. So not really mounting this. First I'm going to install the bulb for the headlights. Now it's kind of a pain in the ass because I do have this winch motor in the way on this side. All I have to do is remove, I guess it's like a dust cover slash moisture cover to not get anything in there. You remove that and it exposes two little screws that you have to take out. As soon as you remove these two little screws, well, I'll show you. So once you take out those two little screws, or I took out, because you probably aren't doing this, but I took them out. See, there's the socket there. You're going to want to hold on to those screws because, I don't know if I can show this, it can fall inside the housing down there, and if that happens, you're going to have a bad time unless you have a magnet. And Steph, I think you're watching. If you know of a better way to do this without dropping those little screws in there, please do let me know down in the comments. Thanks. Okay, so this, see, there's like a little groove on the end right there. It just slides in right like that. So you take that one out, and then the LED comes with that same little, it's like a little prong, I guess, and that just sits in there exactly the same way the other one did. Just goes right into that groove, just like that, and then that's as easy as it gets. The only hard part is getting this back in. I had a hard time on the other side. I can imagine I'm going to have an even harder time on this side because of that winch motor being in the way. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to skip past all the swearing and all the, you know what happens when you work on this kind of things. And then we'll move on to installing the pods, so let's go past that. And of course, before installing any LED light on anything, doesn't matter what it is, always make sure that the light works before you put it back in the housing, because a lot of these LED lights are polarity sensitive, so you have to have them put in the right way. So we're gonna go ahead and test that, see how it looks. Yeah, I say that's pretty bright. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that back in. Again, gonna skip by all of the swearing. You guys don't need to hear that, and I don't want to get demonetized. All right, actually, I was able to get it in without any swearing. It went in surprisingly a lot easier than the other side. So they're both in now. That's what it looks like. LED. This one looks a little sad because I broke one of the plastic mounts that the screw goes in, so one screw is actually only holding that. But worst case scenario, if it ever does break off, get moisture, anything, I'm just gonna go ahead and do a full headlight build, rip this out, put like an LED pod in here instead of a headlight. So I'm not really worried about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what just the headlights look like, and then we're gonna go ahead and wire the pods. So as you can see, quite a big difference. Well, you didn't see that before, but you know what four-wheeler headlights look like. They look yellowish, not that great. So this is what it looks like afterwards. Just a hell of a lot brighter than before. So I've got both my holes drilled. This one's pretty center. This one's not that center. However, it doesn't really matter because I can adjust or I can swivel the lights on the mounts. Gonna go ahead and put the mounts on and the pods. There we go. The lights are mounted. So like I said, I have them mounted up just a little bit higher so that when the plow's up, it still kind of lights up everything. Now this may be a little bit overkill, however I'd rather have more light than not enough light, and especially with winter months here it does get dark around 3:30, 4 o'clock, and if I get a bad snowstorm at night and I want to go out plowing, I'll have plenty of light to plow the driveway. So now we have the wiring. So what's going to happen is I'm going to extend this into here. Also going to extend this into here. I'm going to tie up everything just so I can try to hide everything. It's then going to come out down here. You see where those holes are. I'm going to join them together here somewhere, and then I'm going to remove this panel near the gas tank and run my wires all behind here and have them come out here. And then like this, I have my fuse box right here, and this 15 amp fuse right here is my lights. So everything's going to run into back here. Well, my positive anyway. My positive is going to go into that fuse, and my negative I'm going to ground somewhere on the frame. Doesn't really matter. So then as soon as I hit my lights, everything should light up nice. Soldering over my plastic bumpers, so I'm going to put something underneath to keep it from damaging the plastic underneath. Put some flux. I don't know why it's white, I just know it works. Do not breathe any of that shit in, or try not to anyway. So now we've got a nice strong connection. And you could buy, I mean I just have a $3 torch lighter from Dollarama, and you could buy a $50 torch to solder, but for little things like this, I mean you guys see it yourself, it's working good enough. Another pretty solid connection there. It's not going anywhere. Then I'm going to put some shrink tubing. And I mean, if you guys have never soldered before or seen soldering, the last time I've soldered, I don't know if you guys watched the video, but was when I soldered the wires for the lights on my tow mirrors on the truck. Anytime I do any kind of soldering, I always put shrink tubing just to make it so it covers the part that I soldered, obviously. And it's super easy to put on. I mean, you just heat it up and it conforms to whatever you soldered, just like that. Okay, so I have everything soldered and wired. As you guys saw, I just kind of left out just the finishing touches of things. But yeah, so got everything up wired here, goes in here, same thing on the other side. Got to cut the tie wraps, but you can see all the wiring that comes down, and it's this wire right here that I wrapped up and put through. I got it all roughly wired just now. I just wanted to see if they worked. I'll tuck everything up afterwards, but I'm going to run my ground right to this little bolt here. That's the bolt that holds the fender on. And then as you can see right over here, I have my wire run right into the fuse for the lights. So something I thought would happen, but I wasn't sure, was that as soon as I turn the key on, the pots come on. Doesn't matter if the lights are on or off, they just come on. I guess it's lights in general on the bike. Any lights that have to do with when you turn the key on. So as you can see right here, I'll turn the key on, pods come on right away. Any lights, so like this light, any light that lights up on the bike. So as soon as you light up or you turn on the bike, the pods come on. And here, I'll show you guys a view of with the headlights on at the same time. So as you can see, we have quite a bit of light now coming off of the bike. We should have no problem seeing at night while plowing. I think it's a little bit overkill, honestly, but hey, I'm all about LED lighting. I'm all about having as much light as possible on something. So yeah, basically I'm just going to put everything back together. I'll show you guys a rundown of everything tucked in, and we'll go from there. Now I know you can buy more expensive lights and a light harness and all that stuff, but I mean, this is my plowing four-wheeler. I use it in the summer once in a while, so I don't want a $200-300 harness. I have no problem wiring everything myself. I have the knowledge to do it myself, so I know how to do it. But I mean, you can save yourself a lot of money just by doing it this way. Like, it's not the cleanest. I mean, it's not bad. It's a wiring. You're gonna have wires regardless if you have an aftermarket harness or if you make it yourself. But as long as you tuck everything away, it's just gonna look as if you bought the harness yourself. So I have everything all tucked away. It runs along the other cables, and you know, runs along here. My positive goes on over to the fuse, and my negative is just hanging right here. That will be put onto the frame right here when I put the fender back on. I'm gonna go ahead and put the fender back on, show the finished product. Alright, so everything is completely finished on the bike. I'm super impressed with how it turned out. Just tons more light for the front of the bike when I'm plowing the yard at night. So as you can see, look at that. That's awesome compared to what we had before. What we had before was that ugly yellow look, which didn't really throw out that much light to begin with. So now when the plow is up and blocking these lights, I'm still going to have these lights that are going to shine light over top of the plow, which is a Kimpex Click and Go 2, by the way, if you guys want to pick yourselves up one of those. Extremely easy to install. The brackets under there. I made a video on that. Go ahead on my page and check out that if you guys haven't seen that before. But again, extremely impressed with the LED conversion headlights and the pods that I was able to install onto the bike. So that's going to do it for this week's video. If you guys are stopping by for the first time, do go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Give me a like on the video. It really does help me out. And I will see you guys in the next one.